Well, a pleasant good evening, everyone, from Clipper Magazine Stadium, along with Eric May. I'm Dave Collins, and we've got the rubber game of a three-game series coming up tonight. Last night, Connor Bierfeld hit the first of 2 home runs for the New Britain Bees. The Barnstormers able to rally with a couple of 2-out RBI singles in the 5th inning as Steve Clevenger ties up the game with this one. But it was New Britain over the long haul, pulling away last night for the 4-2 victory, as the go-ahead run was driven home by Mike Baca in the 6th inning to give New Britain a 3-2 lead. Second man thrown out of the plate, and then a little bit of insurance out of John Griffin in the 8th inning last night with the opposite field home run. New Britain winning 4-2. We've got the rubber game coming up tonight, and for the Barnstormers, it will be Joe Gardner making his return to Lancaster. And here's the lineup he'll be facing. Pretty much what we have seen out of the New Britain Bees, not just tonight, but really for most of the season.
Well, you mentioned about Gardner, too, that this is his first outing. If he can get 5 innings, solid innings, that could be a huge lift for this pitching staff. They're
looking for him to go 4, but we'll see how quickly he can get through. He's working with Steve Clevenger, who is catching his first game for the Barnstormers. We're used to seeing Steve at first base, but he is a catcher by trade. Anderson De La Rosa and Tyler Clark have been the only 2 catchers used for the first 94 games of the season, and Steve Clevenger will get the look tonight. James Skelton leading off against Joe Gardner. And Gardner, the right-hander from around Oakland, California, his 4th season as a Barnstormer. He comes and he goes, but his lifetime record, 15-9 in Lancaster, a 3.87 ERA, 6'4" right-hander, misses inside and low to Skelton. Ball 1, no strikes. 15-9 with a 3.87 ERA as a Barnstormer over the last 3 years. Next pitch is also low. Ball 2 and no strikes. Gardner just trying to get his feet wet tonight, hoping to get about 4 innings in. Here's the 2-0. Skelton looks at a strike. It is 2-1.
Well, you mentioned he comes and goes. That seems to be the theme with a lot of guys here in Lancaster this year.
2-1 delivery over at the knees. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Buzz Albert calls the plate tonight. Gardner into the line. 2-2 offering is off the plate and off the glove of Clevenger. A full count. We've seen a few of those this series, have we not?
More than I think we care to see.
Payoff to Skelton, swinging a fly ball hit pretty well out the left field, and that is over the head of Lastings Millage. He's got to chase it down to the warning track, and Skelton will gallop into second base with a leadoff double, bringing on second baseman Yusuke Kajimoto.
Well, 2 things there. One, I don't think Millage picked it up right away. Secondly, that thing really started to accelerate and got over his head in a hurry.
Lastings chasing it to the warning track. The switch hitting Kajimoto will step in left-handed. He and Gardner have been teammates here for the past 3 years. Gardner, in 2014, joined the Barnstormers in June. He got signed away twice. Came back here, was 9-6 in 15. Bouncing ball foul up the first base side, 0-1. And last year, joined the ball club in August, made 6 starts, went 3-1. He went to both the Cubs and the Braves at various times in 2014. He's been a very solid starter in a Barnstormers uniform.
So are they looking at a pitch count on Gardner tonight?
I think Ross would tell you as far as he can go. There's a pop fly out the left, handled by Millage coming in. Big first out with Skelton still at second. Jovan Rosa, the third baseman, will check in.
That's why I'd love to see him pitch to contact, throw as few pitches as possible, possibly then get into a 5th inning.
But as we've talked about, the Barnstormers need to hold back the bullpen the past 2 nights as the pitch counts continue to grow on both Jared Leverett and Rami Lewis, and between them 10 innings, so the bullpen had to cover 8. Gardner goes to work and delivers a strike to Rosa. It is 0-1. Joe Gardner basically is a ground ball pitcher when he gets going. Sinker, slider type of guy. Got to Double-A in 4 different organizations before Chicago and Atlanta. He was with Cleveland and Colorado. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Says the appeal to the first base umpire, John Harrington. That was borderline. Ball 1 and strike 1 to Jovan Rosa. Gardner's offering, wrapped foul on the ground. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a very bright evening here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Guess what it didn't do very much here at Clipper Magazine Stadium today, but seemed to do a lot in the rest of the Lancaster area. Rain.
Wow. And east. I was down around Hatfield and Warminster today, and it was coming down in buckets.
1-2, popped up foul territory, racing back as Halton still going back toward the bullpen and just doesn't have quite enough territory. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We were watching it all afternoon, and the tarp crew would go out and then, no, maybe not, and then they go back to the grounds crew quarters or the front office, and then they'd be back out there again. The sky was growling at us. It was rumbling here and there. I walked to lunch. The sky was rolling at me the entire way over, the entire way back. It rained just a little shower here. That was about it. Swing and a miss. Clevenger will have to throw to first base after making sure that Skelton doesn't entertain any ideas of moving forward. 2 outs, big strikeout for Gardner.
What a great pitch, too. That thing just dove right out of the strike zone. And really, the only chance Rosa had was to try and foul it off to keep that at-bat alive. And watch this pitch. That just drops right off the table. And a big out, as you mentioned.
Gardner has pitched in Venezuela the last 2 winters. Fastball up high to Craig Maddox, the DH, for ball 1. Connor Bierfeld waiting on deck.
And you mentioned Clevenger, really a catcher by trade. It's going to be anxious to see how New Britain handles this. If they get a runner on first base, whether they test the arm of Clevenger.
Ball driven foul to the left. Maddox is sort of had opposite ends of the spectrum in this series. 3 for 5 with 3 doubles in the series opener here on Monday. Last night 0 for 4. Last time up he lined out on a great leaping catch by Garrett Weber, who really went airborne to get it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Maddox. Gardner is low.
Yeah, Weber almost literally jumped out of his shoes. Great elevation to rob him of that hit.
First base is open here. Don't need to cave to Maddox. 2-1 offering, fouled away. 2-2 the count. Gardner trying to work out of the first inning he has thrown this year after giving up the leadoff opposite field double to Skelton. James the runner at second base with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a Maddox, he put him away. A swing and a miss. Gardner comes back and strikes out the last 2. Skelton never moved from second base. 1 hit, 1 left. Bottom of the first coming up, no score. There you see the Barnstormers starting lineup tonight, and we are fairly convinced this one is holding. But wait, just to be sure, it is Amaral, it is Robinson, it is Garner out there for the bottom half of the first inning. If you may remember last night, the lineup we were given, not the one that actually made it to the ball game. Get a look at the defense for the New Britain Bees. And there is left-hander Nick Greenwood, who has Major League time walked with the St. Louis Cardinals. He's back with New Britain this season. Last year, he got off to a 3-0 start, didn't allow a run in 3 starts, 19 total innings, was signed by the Minnesota Twins and spent the rest of the year looking at the same face, or a large part of the rest of the year looking at the same face, as he had been in New Britain. And I'll explain that in a second. Bouncer foul. It is 1-1. His manager in New Britain is Stan Clyburn. His pitching coach in the Minnesota organization, Stan's identical twin Stu.
Oh, jeez.
They used to work together for many, many years in the Minnesota system. Stu is still there.
Is Stan the older or younger of the twins?
I'm not sure if they would tell you. Line drive, base hit the left.
Which means he's older.
I've never asked that question. Which one came out first? Now, how about Amaral? Another leadoff base hit the left field. He is very good going the other way. Now 12 out of his last 30. Barnstormers have their leadoff man on board. And here's Trayvon Robinson, batting right-handed. His better side this year. 273 overall, 5 home runs for Trey. Outside and low, ball 1, no strikes. Greenwood off to a rocky start this go around with the Bees. Robinson lofts it in the air, foul down the right field side. Walton gives up on it. A ball and a strike. Greenwood has given up 39 hits coming into tonight in 29 2/3 innings. 17 earned runs, 10 walks, 13 strikeouts. This is the first time the Barnstormers have ever faced him. Left-hander from Connecticut. He'll work to the plate. Robinson smashes that, and it gets right through Rosa. First and second with nobody out.
Something we have not seen.
Guy stops just about everything over there.
Yeah. I mean, the way he was nabbing ground balls the other night, and I looked at the stat sheet, that's error number 18 this season on Rosa. But seems to be when he plays Lancaster, he doesn't miss a thing.
He made a dazzling play against Garrett Weber in the second inning last night. He's made some other really fine stops over there in this series, and this one went right through him. Cole Garner stepping in. Garner 231 now. He's only 2 for 22 against the team for whom he played last year, the New Britain Bees. The offering is inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes.
Well, and the fact that they haven't faced Greenwood, if you can tack on a run or two right off the bat, because so many times when you face somebody for the first time, it's going to take an inning and a time through the lineup to figure them out.
Look back at Amaral. That ball is smashed into right field. Amaral is being waved around. The throw will come in towards second base, and Robinson able to hold on there. Garner with an RBI single. Ross Peoples did not hesitate at all in sending Bo Amaral around. Lancaster takes the 1-0 lead, and Sean Halton will try to add to that.
What a nice piece of hitting by Garner. Pitch is going to go down and away. Just goes with the pitch and shoots it through the opening on the right side.
Lancaster strikes early. Halton trying to stretch it out. Sean has 11 runs batted in the last 6 games, and 65 now for the season. Greenwood to the plate. Good job covering that one up by James Skelton. Ball 1, no strikes. Halton leads the league in runs batted in by 3 over Southern Maryland first baseman Michael Snyder. The offering, and Halton drives this ball toward the gap, right center field. That is going to be through and skipping all the way to the wall. Robinson scores. Garner maybe on his heels. We've got a throw to the plate. That is late. Halton doubles in 2. It's 3-0.
Well, Halton has now hit safely in 9 straight, and what else? An extra base hit. And the plate's 2, so he can tack on to his league-leading RBI total.
67 runs batted in now on the year for Halton. And we're right about the 2/3 mark of the season, so he's on a pace maybe to get 100.
Well, he keeps coming through like that with runners on base. That number's going to accumulate pretty quickly.
13 runs batted in 7 games, a meeting of the minds on the mound. Sean Gilblair, the pitching coach / closer, out there to have a word with Nick Greenwood, who has given up 3 runs here in the opening inning and still does not have an out. The run scored by Robinson is unearned. He reached on the error. Here's the catcher, Steve Clevenger. Clevenger is 6 for 8 in the series, and all the way up to 304 for the season. Still all singles, but right now the Barnstormers will take that.
So he's raised his average almost 100 points.
Yeah, 93 points in the first 2 games of this series. That's still early in his time here. He's gone from 8 for 38 to 14 for 46. The 1-ball pitch from Greenwood is through Skelton, and jogging ahead to third is Halton. This is not a good start to the night for the New Britain Bees in any way, shape, or form.
That should be a pass ball.
And that's my feeling on it as well, but we'll bring it up online and double check.
Yeah, that's one I'm sure. If you ask Skelton, he'll tell you he should have had that.
Infield draws in. Clevenger bats 2-0. Garrett Weber's on deck. The pitch across the knees. Strike 1. Long Island out to an early lead at York tonight, 1-0.
Good news all around early on.
2-1. Clevenger bounces that nice stop from the mound by Greenwood. He'll get Clevenger, and Halton is still over at third base.
Wow, that saved the run.
Greenwood's only 6'1", but he played that as if he were 6'5", 6'6". Boy, what a nice stop from Nick Greenwood. If he doesn't stop that, nobody gets there with the infield drawn in. Garrett Weber batting with 1 out and the runner at third. He takes a pitch away. Ball 1 and no strikes.
Well, with only 1 down, still got to get that runner home from third base.
And that won't do it either. Another comebacker, and Halton got caught off third. Here's the tag by Skelton. He is out. Now digging for second base is Weber, and he is out. Well, that turned into an ugly play for the Lancaster Barnstormers as they waste trying to score a 4th run. A double play which went 1 to 5 to 2 to 4. Closing it out, but it's a 3-run first. The Barnstormers off to the big beginning. Here's that last play again. Another good stop by Greenwood showing how to field his position. They get the out at the plate, and then Weber decides he wants to go to second base, and he gets tagged out too. Barnstormers run themselves out of the inning. First pitch called strike to Connor Bierfeld as we open up the second. The good news is the Barnstormers did score 3 before that play.
Yeah, that's the good news. The bad news is they had a chance to get more.
Greenwood did not necessarily have the best of first innings on the mound, but he certainly showed how to field his position well. Yeah. 0-2, the count to Bierfeld. Boy, did he hit a long home run last night. And this ball is driven out toward right field, and hustling over is Garner to make the play. 4 in a row, set down by Joe Gardner. 1 out, Jamar Walton steps in. Shades of 2014, having both Garner and Gardner on the ball club, and when you're asked a question, sometimes you don't hear it exactly right. Which one are you talking about?
Yeah.
The outfielder or the pitcher?
Unless they start talking about batting, then you know right away it's going to be Garner.
Fouled away by Jamar Walton. Be careful with him in this yard.
What I like, though, only 3 pitches to Bierfeld.
A ball and a strike. Gardner comes back, and that's chopped to the hill. Joe says, I can field my position, too. 1-3, 2 outs.
Pitchers are busy here tonight.
John Griffin will step in. Here's a guy who is 7 for his last 11 with 2 home runs against the Barnstormers.
Yikes.
He was 3 for 3 against Jarrett Leverett last week. He was 3 for 3 with a home run here last night. He was clearly the offensive star for the Bees last night.
Yeah, and that home run he hit last night was crushed.
Yeah, that was no Clipper Magazine Stadium drop one onto the deck 306 feet from home plate. That was over the deck by a good ways.
I think it ended up in the parking lot at Warple Construction.
Fouled away, 0-2. I was talking to Stan Clyburn about Griffin last night. He says that's where his power is. You know, we've seen it for the last 3 years as well. That comes as no surprise. He says if he tries to pull the ball, he hooks it around. Into the dirt for a ball. Griffin bats 1-2. But he's a big man as John Griffin at 6 feet 6 inches tall.
Well, you think he'd try and bust him inside so he can't really get those arms extended.
Swing and a miss at the hook. Gardner strikes out his 3rd. Nothing across. Joe Gardner's retired 6 in a row. Nice to see him back. We'll go to the bottom of the second with Lancaster up by 3. There's Steve Clevenger. I asked him about catching tonight. He goes, we'll see. It's been a while for him, but he did come up as a catcher and is built as a catcher.
Yeah.
Here's Coronado.
It's like riding a bike for him, I'm sure.
Ball one up and away from Nick Greenwood. Josh Bell on deck, and then Lastings Millage. Fouled off a breaking ball. It's 1-1. How about the Nate Coronado story? He goes from being an emergency signing because the Barnstormers needed a backup infielder to being a mainstay of the ball club, all within the span of 3 weeks.
And the more he plays, the more comfortable he is going to get, and more relaxed. And that's why, you know, guys like Coronado, and you mentioned Clevenger having not played for a while, and Amaral, once these guys really get settled in, they could be a huge asset to this offense.
2-2. They're actually, along with Halton, 3 of the hottest hitters on the ball club.
So maybe the fact that the game has been pushed back now to the 14th gives these guys more opportunity to get into a groove.
2-2. There's a line drive base hit for Coronado. The hits just keep on coming for Nathaniel. Leadoff man is aboard. Josh Bell will come to the plate. You saw the youth and inexperience last night when he ran into the final out of the game in the 9th inning, feeling he had to go to second base, forgetting that Bo Amaral was automatically out on the drop third strike. Well, that created some issues at the very end last night, but Coronado has been quite an acquisition. To Josh Bell, first pitch strike. Josh 256 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. The Barnstormers have signed a utility player for tomorrow, but it is a really novel story, and we'll wait till the YouTube broadcast tomorrow night once he's officially active to talk about it. But this will be one of the more unusual signings, certainly in our franchise history. To Bell, here's the 0-2 into the dirt and scooting away from Skelton. That will move Coronado up to second base. This one, we're pretty sure, will be ruled a wild pitch by Joel Schreiner, who's on top of things.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Bell hitting 1 and 2 with Coronado up to second base. Bell looks at ball 2. Barnstormers have been able to put the ball in play against Greenwood. They have 4 hits out of the first 7 batters, including the 2-run double by Halton in the first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bell. Bounces it foul and sticks around.
Greenwood tried to sneak a fastball by him, and Bell able to stay alive.
Shadows have begun to creep in from left field, part of the uniqueness of this ballpark. Two wrapped, and it hits Coronado, so he is automatically out. We've seen that twice in this series. You don't see it twice in a decade. What is going on? So Bell will get an infield base hit, and Coronado is out 6 unassisted. It's the Barnstormers' 5th hit. Lastings Millage steps in with a runner at first and 1 out. Well, it's a double play ball if Coronado is still at first base. I don't know if Baca would have gotten to it where he was playing Bell not at double play depth, but you could surmise and hypothesize a lot of stuff. But truth is, it's the second ground ball in the series that's hit a base runner.
Yeah, that's something
Inshaw was hit by Jamar Walton the other night.
Just don't see it.
One 0 offering. That's taken toward right center field. Racing over, though, is Krause to make the catch. Bell will go back to first. He's there with 2 outs. Bo Amaral gets his second look at Nick Greenwood.
A little too much hang time on that fly ball. And of course, with Krause out there, he'll track down just about everything.
Two outs with a runner at first. That fly ball probably would have scored Coronado from third if that ground ball hadn't hit him in the foot. All kinds of oddities as of late. Just the last few days, the way Sunday's game ended, which we have detailed. That ball is smashed into right field. Amaral with his second hit. Bell will stop at second. Well, the Barnstormers have now 6 hits for the ball game, 3 hits in the inning in 4 at-bats, and they're looking at first and second, 2 outs, and nothing on the scoreboard.
Figure that one out.
And the one batter that was retired, it wasn't a double play. But an out on the bases. That's 2 for the game. How is Greenwood still only giving up 3 runs? That's the other question.
Well, he helped himself with his glove. That's how he did it.
Breaking ball spins to the outside corner. Strike 1 on Robinson. He reached on an error by Jovan Rosa. Back in the first inning, ball went through the wickets. Bell is at second. Amaral, the runner at first base. The offering swing and a miss. Greenwood so far in this plate appearance making it look pretty easy against Trayvon Robinson.
That's why I look back. That ground ball that Clevenger hit that Greenwood elevated to get, that was a huge out. Not only was it the first out, but it saved what would have been the 4th run of the inning and of the ball game.
Good block by Skelton, getting a workout back there, helping out Greenwood tonight. Ball 1 and 2 strikes the count. Robinson trying to produce extra Barnstormers runs. And the 1-2, Trayvon with a little foul at the plate. Lunging across to save it.
Yeah, he was at bat when he hit that ball that dribbled in front, and Skelton pushed him out of the way last night.
Ultimately, that probably should have been a foul ball some way, somehow. 2-2 now.
Just more of the strange things we have seen in this 3-game series.
The Barnstormers might have been better off had that been a foul ball and not a sacrifice, because they never could score the runner from second. Well, Coleman came on and took care of 2 right-handed batters. Here's a 2-2 up and away. Garner waiting on deck. Robinson at 3-2. Bell and Amaral will get the early start.
You know, they just had problems getting runs in general last night. Plenty of guys on base, just couldn't come up with the big hits.
Here's the payoff with the runners in motion. Little dribbler up the third base side. Up with it is Greenwood. A heck of a play again. And he guns down Robinson. That ball arguably was Skelton's, but he couldn't get after it. And Nick Greenwood up the third baseline on a little roller comes up with the play and ends the inning. Boy, that's a beauty right there. Those shades are necessary. So are the Caps here tonight. Barnstormers against the New Britain Bees. And to start off the third inning, Michael Kraus will lead things off for New Britain against Joe Gardner, who has retired 6 in a row. We just had a marriage proposal here between innings, and she said yes.
We've had a couple of those here this year.
Scott Patterson.
Yeah.
After a game. He and Kaylee getting married in October. First pitch is low, ball 1 on Kraus.
I hope they won the game, put him in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, I don't even recall. 2-0. Gardner finding the range to get the strike in there on Kraus. You don't want to walk this guy leading off an inning. 27 steals this year, 61 a year ago. Missing inside. Gardner falls behind 3-1. Barnstormers have missed out on chances to score extra runs. Boy, has Greenwood helped himself out defensively. Partial swing. He went too far. Kraus now at 3-2. Really helped out Gardner there. That could have been ball 4.
Yeah. But to Gardner's credit, good movement on the pitch.
I don't think I've seen another left-handed pitcher in this league make the play Greenwood just made. There's ball 4 up. And that's asking for trouble. Leadoff walk to Kraus here in the third inning. Ends a streak of 6 straight outs for Joe Gardner. Now Michael Baca, the shortstop, will step in. Baca drove in the go-ahead run last night in the 6th inning after a good battle against R.J. Hively.
Yeah, and that was the topic of conversation. What do you throw to Baca? You don't want to walk him. He's the number 9 guy. Kind of thought Hively would have challenged him more, but Baca came through with the big hit.
Now he squares. Gardner's down and away. Ball 1, no strikes. Generally don't see control problems with Joe. He's typically around the zone, but again, there may be a little bit of rust here. Kraus, the base runner, he's going to go. The pitch is outside. The throw by Clevenger bounces in. And Michael Kraus has second base stolen. But an even bigger issue is now that it's 2 balls and no strikes on Baca.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to keep an eye on Kraus, but you gotta be able to throw strikes and get the batter. Let your defense do the work behind you. And again, Baca in a situation where he can really help himself out and help out the Bees.
Gardner ready to go. 2-0 pitch. Driven out to center field. Hit pretty well. Amaral fading back. He'll make the catch. Kraus is going to advance to third on the play. And James Skelton will try to bring him home. Skelton doubled over Millage's head back in the first inning. That's the thing we forget about Skelton as well. When he's swinging the bat right, when he's being James Skelton and not what he became during that one time here, the dead pull hitter, always trying to pull the ball to the wall, he's very good to the opposite field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Skelton was here for a while and a good player. The guy's been a good player all along, but I think he lost himself a little bit here because of that wall. I often bring up his name when it comes to the presence of that wall out there because, he hit a couple of dramatic game-winning home runs for the Barnstormers that year. And it can get to you. It can alter your approach. Next offering, and that ball is lashed into right field for an RBI base hit. Skelton driving in the run. And now Yusuke Kajimoto stepping in. So New Britain fights back to 3-1. We're going to have a mound visit from Scott Patterson.
That's those dreaded base on balls coming around to score.
Barnstormers give up a run here, but the issue is that the Barnstormers don't have more on the board. They had 3 runs before the first out of the opening inning. And they had a runner at third base with nobody out in that first inning. They had 3 hits in the second, and they still only have 3 runs. So the complexion would be a lot different here if it were 5-1 or 6-1.
Yeah, it would have been nice to give Gardner a little more breathing room. And this is first start.
Now here is Kajimoto, who flied to left his first time up. A short fly out to Lastings Millage. Bouncing ball foul. 1 strike on Kajimoto.
And the issue here now is keep him at just 1 run. Gardner's got to find a way to get out of this inning.
Low ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Where's his pitch count at this point?
I have him at 41.
Okay.
Kajimoto has to back out of the way. Gardner is down and in. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, at this pace, it might just be a 4-inning outing for Gardner here tonight.
Gardner into this spot in the rotation right now, so Brad Bergeson can pitch tomorrow, and he'll then stay on track. He goes tomorrow, then next Wednesday, and then that Monday a deciding game against Southern Maryland, if it's played that night. Early forecast, it's still, 12 days away, but the early forecast is for rain.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, I'm not. 3-1. That's ball 4 to Kajimoto, and Gardner struggling here in the 3rd inning. But again, the signing of Brian Evans, who would have gone Sunday, thinned out the bullpen for that day. They did a great job, but it carries over into this week, and
sure does.
You really run the risk of grinding the bullpen down. Jovan Rosa will step in. He struck out back in the 1st inning. Gardner trying to make the right pitches here to get out of a jam. Skelton and Kajimoto the runners. The double steal is always a possibility. Big right-handed batter at the plate. Stan Clyburn's got many options. To Rosa. Breaking ball curls back nicely to the inside corner for strike 1.
Well, they got Rosa and Maddox on strikeouts. Nice way to end the 1st inning. Can get him to turn over on one and get a ground ball.
Breaking ball here, ground ball toward the middle, it's through. Here comes Skelton, will have a 3-2 ball game. Kajimoto stopping at second, Rosa aboard, the ball just getting past. Nate Coronado at shortstop, Craig Maddox will come to the plate, and New Britain has a chance to put a very crooked number on the board.
Might have got the ground ball he wanted.
Just out of the reach of Nate Coronado up the middle. Coronado is a step or 2 to the left, set up there, which you're generally not going to do against Rosa.
Right.
That's 2 outs instead of another run and another base runner. Craig Maddox trying to turn this into a big inning. He was a strikeout victim back in the 1st. And now a fly ball foul out of play to the left. Gardner throwing his 47th pitch. Oh, 1, that's chopped toward the middle. Coronado will take it to the bag, flip the first. There's the double play. 6 unassisted to 3. Gardner gets it and is out of the inning, but not before New Britain scores 2 on a pair of base hits and a pair of walks. 1 runner left on base. Bottom of the 3rd. Coming around, Lancaster still leads by 1. Barnstormers' lead has been trimmed back to just a run. It'll be Garner, Halton, and Clevenger facing Nick Greenwood as we step into the bottom half of the third inning. Garner with an RBI single back in the first, driving in his 13th run since coming back to Lancaster.
Hats and/or sunglasses a necessity here tonight.
Oh, it is a brilliant evening. Storms blew out of the area by late afternoon. First pitch swinging is Garner in an easy play for the shortstop Baca. One out in the bottom of the third, bringing on Sean Halton. He doubled in 2 runs back in the first inning. Barnstormers need something to turn this momentum back.
Yeah, that 2-run double by Halton, too, we thought was really going to be the start of something big in that first inning.
That first inning looked like a 5-6 run inning.
It did.
Following the double was the pass ball with Clevenger at the plate. Greenwood deals a strike to Halton, 0-1. And right now, Nick Greenwood seems to be taking over this game. Now, it's fairly premature to say that, but all of a sudden he's got his command. Fouled away by Halton, 2 strikes the count. He's given up 6 hits over the first 2 innings.
Well, I can use a boxing analogy. He took a shot to the face there in the first inning. A couple of shots. But he's rebounded nicely and, like you said, settled in.
Yeah, there's a couple of wins at the major league level for St. Louis. One and 2 to Sean Halton. Breaking ball scorched up the middle. Halton is 2 for 2. Well, the Barnstormers pick up their 7th hit. Steve Clevenger now to the plate, looking to get a ball past Greenwood. Right now, that goes down as the defensive play of the game. Greenwood going high to save the ground ball by Clevenger, the chopper from getting up the middle through the drawn-in infield.
Halton really in a groove now. 12 out of 33 in this 9-game hit streak.
Breaking ball stays inside to Clevenger. Well, the Barnstormers looking to springboard off the Halton hit. To Clevenger, make it 2-0.
Well, and we have seen with Clevenger, this is the time that he'll take a pitch the opposite way. New Britain defensively, they're shifting towards the middle to try and set up for a double play.
2-0, chopper to Greenwood. He's going to go to short 1, back the first 2. That is his 4th assist of the night, and you cannot defend any better. Not every pitcher gets a double play out of that. You don't jump on it that quickly. In the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. Greenwood's defense is becoming the biggest factor of the game. We go to the 4th with the Barnstormers still up 3-2. Fans on hand tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and they have seen a lot of action so far. The Barnstormers with 7 hits. They've hit into 2 double plays, and one of those base hits hit a runner. That's another out on the bases. First delivery here, taken to right center field by Bierfeld, and that is in. Amaral does a great job cutting it off and holding that to a single. Throw was offline, but by then Bierfeld had committed to go back to first base.
Yeah, great job by Amaral to cut it off. One more step. If he doesn't get there, that's back to the fence, and you're looking at Bierfeld in scoring position.
It brings on Jamar Walton, who had a comebacker in the 2nd inning. Lancaster got off to that fast 3-0 start tonight, and since then, the glove of the pitcher Greenwood and the New Britain bats have really started to turn the tide here. Wow. But Lancaster does still have the 1-run lead. Yeah. Foul ball back by Walton, 0-1.
Greenwood is just, yeah, it's basically like a clinic as to how to field the position.
He's been magnificent. And again, it's the first time we've seen him, but he is a magician defensively. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball as Walton handcuffed. It's 0-2.
You can feel that momentum shifting after that first inning that Lancaster had with the 3 runs. New Britain getting a little stingy here and fighting back.
To Walton, that's rolled back toward the hill. The only play that Gardner has is to first. It's his 2nd assist. Both have come against Walton, but the tying run moves to 2nd with 1 out. John Griffin coming to the plate, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd.
Yeah, and Gardner didn't even look at second base. He knew he had no play.
That would have been foolhardy.
Yeah. Get the Shore out. Get out number 1. And look ahead to Griffin. Just keep it out of his wheelhouse.
To the plate. And the first pitch strike, 0-1. And on deck, Krause. Breaking ball, fouled back over our heads.
That was literally right above us.
John Griffin from Florida. He's from Bradenton, same hometown as Lastings Millage. Nice community down there. I've been there a couple of times. 0-2. Spins outside, ball 1. I'm not the greatest Florida fan in the world, but Bradenton's nice. Bradenton, Sarasota area is quite nice.
I couldn't do it year round.
I've only been there during the month of March. Line drive and a base hit out the left field. They're going to have to hold Bierfeld to 3rd. Michael Krause will bat with 2 runners on board. 5 hits now off of Joe Gardner tonight. Krause,
and they've been hard hit balls too.
Krause a walk and a run scored. Lancaster's bullpen comes to life.
And this guy's not easy to double up. If you're going to get a double play, it's going to have to be hard hit right at an infielder for them to get Krause.
One out with men at the corners. Krause takes a ball to right, foul. 0-1. Gardner trying to hold on to a lead, which is now painfully narrow. Here in the fourth inning, runners at first and third with one out, a one-run lead. To the plate, and Krause again fouls this to right.
Now, Krause does have a tendency to strike out a lot, so if you can get him to go fishing on a pitch out of the zone, it could be a big strikeout for Gardner. Because again, he's going to be hard to double up.
0-2. The pitch, check swing. That's exactly what you expected there. It was a breaking ball toward the dirt, but Krause able to hold back on it.
Yeah, the risk you throw with that breaking ball then is if that ball gets away from Clevenger, now we've got ourselves a tie ball game.
But it's a risk in this day and age you need to take, and you have to be able to take. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gardner deals. Did he go too far that time? Yes, he did. Well, they went back to it, and Krause couldn't stem the momentum of the bat the second time. That's a big strikeout for Gardner. His fourth, and now Michael Baca, we've learned, is a pretty tough out in big situations. Stepping in. Baca's had a good series here. Jake McGuigan, the starting shortstop most of the time, I guess, for New Britain, was traded to Long Island earlier in the week. Opening room for Baca. Here he hits a ground ball to second. This is easy for Weber and ends the inning. Gardner does a great job pitching out of the jam and holding the lead. 2 hits, 2 left for New Britain. The Barnstormers still lead by 1. We go to the bottom of the fourth as you get a look at Nick Greenwood, whose fortunes have certainly turned around tonight, and he's largely responsible for that. He has started 2 double plays on comebackers. We've got a warm one. Temperatures got to around 90 degrees today. The storms came through and they bounced right back.
Tough shot for the camera crew. They've got to deal with the sun as well.
Greenwood goes to work against Weber. Delivers low, ball 1 and no strikes. But Greenwood's pitch count is, despite all the Barnstormers base hits, pretty low. Next offering, fastball right there. It is 1-1. That's his 48th pitch.
And coming into the game tonight, he had walked 10 batters in 29 2/3 innings. He has not walked anybody yet.
Swing and a miss. Now 2-2. He really hasn't come close.
No, he hasn't gone to a 3-ball count yet tonight.
fouls one back. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coronado and Bell will follow. Barnstormers, as a ball club, don't have too many home runs off of left-handed pitching all year. It's still in the teens. 2-2 offering. Gunned inside. We go to full here on Garrett Weber. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looked like Buzz flinched a little bit as if he wanted to
definitely
ring him up.
Thought about it.
Yep.
Here's the payoff. Weber with a swing and a ball belted out to left field. Bierfeld will chase this one back, and he's going to chase it out to the base of the wall. Weber will stop at second with a leadoff double. Well, the Barnstormers able to wiggle out of the jam in the top of the inning. Now see the opportunity to stretch the lead in the bottom of the inning. Weber with a ball. It's a home run just about anywhere else. But it's 373 to that angle in the wall in left field here.
I thought it had a chance when it left the bat. You mentioned that's a long way away. Hey, we'll take it. Put Weber in scoring position.
The Barnstormers average a home run every 53 and a half at-bats against left-handed pitching. That's coming into tonight. And every 30 at-bats against right-handed pitching.
It's quite a drop.
Coronado with a swing and a foul tip here. It is 0-1. Well, the Barnstormers need to build off the Weber double. The ball a rocket on the 3-2 pitch. Coronado trying to advance the runner at least to third. Down a strike here against Greenwood. Low and away. A ball and a strike. Nate checking in with Ross Peoples. Weber is not going to try and steal third straight. Here's a 1-1. Cut on and missed. That is one of the few times we've seen Coronado really get fooled since he's been here. And he may be trying to do a little too much here in the 4th inning. Josh Bell on deck. Barnstormers could really use this run to reestablish a 2-run lead. Greenwood ready to go. And his pitch wrapped foul on the ground. Greenwood doesn't have a strikeout yet tonight, but I think he's going to try for one here.
Well, you almost have to because, as you mentioned, last thing Greenwood wants to do is have Coronado put it in play and advance Weber onto third base.
Greenwood ready. Here's the 1-2. Sharp ground ball pulled foul. Well, that's the other thing he would take is a ground ball to a left side infielder. That wouldn't move Weber either. Coronado in there battling.
And he keeps going down in the zone. He fooled Coronado once in this at bat. Greenwood trying to do it again here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Weber leading off second. The pitch. He decided to change the eye level, but the fastball is up 2-2. Coronado wouldn't go for it. The shadows are coating the field now. Two and two. Greenwood to Coronado. And the pitch. Ground ball on the right side. Well done. Kajimoto will get the out, but Weber moves to third. That's just good fundamentals.
Yes, it is.
That young man is well schooled. Josh Bell now trying to get the runner home from third base.
Now you got to make contact.
If you don't have a full appreciation for baseball, you may not understand what a nice at bat that was for Coronado. To Bell, first pitch strike onto the inside corner, batting against the dreaded drawn-in infield. Runner at third, 1 out. Bell trying to pick up his 4th run batted in of the season. He has a base hit on a hit runner tonight. Skelton makes the block. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barnstormers so far in this game 0 for 2, getting the runner across from third with fewer than 2 outs. Bell awaiting the 1-1 from Greenwood. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Josh Bell looking for a fly ball here. Greenwood trying to get him to hit a worm burner, something at which he's generally been quite good tonight. That's ball 3. Millage in the on-deck circle. Lastings has gone into a fairly dreadful slump. He's been getting walks, but the base hits have eluded him for a while.
Well, these pitches out of the strike zone have not been close either.
That's ball 4. Bell gets the walk. Millage to bat with runners at the corners. Now Lastings did hit a fly ball his first time up.
Now the upside for Greenwood with the walk is that at least now it sets up a double play that if he can get Millage to hit a ground ball, he could get out of the inning. But we've seen Millage come through in clutch situations this year.
He's gotten the runner from third base home 61% of the time. You're talking a guy who has been at the highest levels of baseball on 2 continents. He knows how this game is played. Runners at the corners, and the pitch line foul down the right side. It is 0-1. Millage is 0 for his last 13. Spanning 6 games, he does not have a base hit since the 26th at New Britain. That was a week ago tonight. He was 2 out of 5 in that game with a double and a run batted in. Here comes the 0-1. Greenwood down and away. We get to a 1 ball and 1 strike count. Lancaster trying to stretch out a lead. Both ball clubs have had a lot of base runners here tonight. Greenwood ready to go. 1-1, ball 2. Millage gains the advantage. 2 balls and a strike. You just don't have the right combination to be moving runners here. Though Josh Bell does have 2 stolen bases. I almost died of a coronary on the first one. Josh is making a concerted effort to drop some weight and take some pressure off the knee. But still, you don't want him out there every day. And
when you're not playing every day, that's hard to do.
2 balls and 1 strike to Millage. Hopper towards shortstop. Big hop played by Baca. They'll get the out at second. Kajimoto with a clean strike back to first and the double play. They turn it 6-4-3. The leadoff double leads to nothing. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Barnstormers leave a man and will go to the 5th in a 3-2 ball game. It's a beautiful night out here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Barnstormers and New Britain in a one-run battle. This could be a 6-5 game instead of a 3-2 game.
Yeah.
Skelton takes a ball low. Joe Gardner out there for a fifth inning.
Yeah, both pitchers have been put in some pretty precarious moments, but have battled through it.
2-0. Skelton already has a double and a single tonight. He has scored a run. He has knocked in a run. Had the key hit in the 2-run third. Strike taken. 2-1. 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight for the New Britain Bees. Strike 2 is dealt to Skelton. And the Barnstormers got off to a great start in that category. They're now 3 for 8. And one of those hits hit a runner. Ball 3 is low. Gardner's got to throw a strike here. 3-2 to James Skelton. Getting the fifth inning underway. Gardner's pitch count into the mid-60s. And a payoff pitch. He got him. Swing and a miss. That's huge. Starting off the fifth inning. 5 strikeouts for Gardner.
Took a little something off of it.
One thing about Gardner, he is durable. And so the fact that he is making his season debut, I guarantee he's been throwing out in California. First game action, though, since winter ball. And eventually Gardner's going to get into that rhythm. We see Joe Gardner. He is a guy that he'll go about 6 innings and pitch a game kind of like he's pitching tonight. This is not an abnormal outing on any front for Gardner. 1-1. He'll keep you in ball games.
What I like is the fact that he is pounding the zone and starting out with strikes. Put himself in the driver's seat.
Bouncer back to the hill. Gardner's not too bad with the glove either. We have seen a clinic between him and Greenwood tonight. 2 outs, and the batter is Jovan Rosa, and we'll see another good one tomorrow in Brad Bergeson. Well, I should double check with Ross. We theoretically could throw Shirley tomorrow and Bergeson Friday, but I don't think it's going to go that way. However, Sugarland, if that's the case, we'll see 3 straight left-handers. And Ross doesn't really like doing that either. First pitch, strike to Rosa, 0-1. I didn't expect Gardner to go 5 innings tonight. I'm not sure Ross and Scott expected Gardner to go 5 innings tonight, but he has given this club a pretty good sized lift. Ground ball down the line. Hey, it's JB. Long throw, but the throw gets away from Halton. Still, JB stopped the double. Wow.
What?
Diving play over at third. Brooks Robinson and handled a tough bounce to boot, but he just couldn't find Halton's glove with a throw, or that would have been a spectacular play. Oh my, what a great stop.
If he would have taken just that split second to get a good solid footing underneath, because Rosa was running.
Yeah, and he doesn't run all that well.
No.
So now here is Craig Maddox, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. First pitch is low. Ball 1 from Gardner, and Connor Bierfeld waits on deck. Lancaster leading by 1. Rosa, not a guy you have to worry about on the bases. Fly ball fouled by Maddox. Ball 1, strike 1. How about that play for Bell?
We've seen some outstanding plays in this series.
2-1. You know, last inning, it ultimately didn't matter, but the play made by Amaral to keep Bierfeld from the double.
Yep.
I don't know. He might have even been able to go to third on the comebacker by Walton, so they score a run there. So that's important. We've seen some plays made on the New Britain side. Ball 3 now on Maddox, 3-1. All of a sudden a precarious spot. Not anymore. Bouncer back to the hill. Another assist for Gardner. He and Greenwood going back and forth with the glove work here tonight. One hit and one left in the top of the 5th. Gardner's gotten his ball club through 5 with a 3-2 lead. The two pitchers have combined to put together only one 1-2-3 inning in our ball game so far tonight, and that was the top of the 2nd. And we had a game very similar to that last night. There were only 3 1-2-3 innings posted all night long, and still just a 4-2 ball game. Here's Bo Amaral, 2 for 2 in this game, a single to left and a single to right. Greenwood deals, and that's a torched foul, one hop into the first base seats. It is 0-1. Amaral now 13 out of his last 31.
Yeah, you don't get too many 1-2-3 innings. You're easily looking at a 3-hour game.
0-1 offering. Greenwood dropped his arm angle down there and reached the outside corner. He's ahead of Amaral, 0-2. Robinson and Garner will follow. And even more down to the side. And misses low. Amaral up there at 1-2. Amaral is 10 for 20 against New Britain. These two ball clubs meeting for the 7th game out of the last 10. 1-2. Fouled off.
And he's shown a couple of different arm angles. If he goes to Dan Quisenberry delivery, I'm really going to be impressed.
I like what I've seen out of Greenwood, and I understand why he did what he did last year, and he put together really good numbers in the twin system too. Amaral goes the other way, but this was tracked down by Kraus, reaching up to make the catch. One out. Trayvon Robinson to the plate. Robinson is 0 for 2 tonight. Greenwood with Minnesota. was 9-4 with a 3.2 ERA between AA Chattanooga and AAA Rochester last year. Breaking ball, good for a strike on Robinson. It's 0-1. And his stuff as a left-hander translates very well. Next offering, sharp ground ball. That'll be a base hit in the left. Robinson is aboard. The Barnstormers have their 9th hit. Cole Garner has one of those, and he'll step in. Double plays have taken care of a lot of ills tonight for Nick Greenwood. There have been 3 behind him in the first 4 innings. We haven't seen Greenwood really throw over to first base at all, and Robinson may almost be willing to take the risk here. But he may not be too sure what Greenwood has. To the plate, it is low, ball 1. Yeah. But what he seemed to have there is a very quick motion to the plate. Make it tough to run.
And they want to try and pick up his delivery.
You want to stay out of the double play, but you don't want to just run into an out either. 1-0. Cole with a fly ball foul down the right side. You really don't seem to have too many options here, and that's been a big part of Greenwood's success tonight. Got out of a 1st and 3rd jam in the 4th inning with a double play. A runner at 3rd, 1-out jam in the 1st with a double play. A weird one. Swing and a miss. You got Garner to climb the ladder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sean Halton is on deck.
And not a real big lead by Robinson at first either, so really no sign that...
Yeah, and he hasn't really seen the move of Greenwood. To the plate, Garner swings and misses. Greenwood again fighting back off the ropes. This guy's better out of the stretch. Halton to the plate. He's 2 for 2 and has knocked in 2 runs. Nasty off-speed pitch there had Garner fooled. But you can see it. Greenwood doesn't even need to throw to first. From what I'm looking at here, again, I don't have that microsecond stopwatch, but just with the naked eye, he seems incredibly quick to the plate. And you're going to have a hard time running. He'll work to Halton and break it down and in. Ball 1 and no strikes. You can help yourself so much as a pitcher with that. Lancaster still up by 1. Greenwood will go to work on Halton. Sean pulls this out toward left center field. Hustling in is Kraus. That'll be the final out of the inning. 1 hit and 1 man left on base. 5 innings in the books. The Barnstormers holding the 3-2 lead. John Kuchno on in relief for the Barnstormers as we go to the 6th inning. Kuchno made the start on Sunday, went 3 shutout innings at Southern Maryland. Didn't stick around long enough to be eligible for the win. The Barnstormers did win that ball game by a score of 4-2. Kuchno pitched very well, and he has pitched very well since coming to the Barnstormers. Right now he's looking to hold the lead for Joe Gardner. And it had to be, and I know it was, a nice security blanket for Ross Peoples, knowing that he had Gardner coming back and knowing that the Barnstormers were padded against one of their pitchers having his contract purchased. And that's exactly what did happen.
And then Gardner in return gives him 5 good innings. You take away those 2 walks, and he might be looking at a scoreless ball game, or no runs, I should say, for New Britain.
6 hits, walked 2, struck out 5, gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Kuchno, first pitch is inside to Connor Bierfeld. Ball 1 and no strikes. But I think the Barnstormers got an exceptional outing ultimately out of Gardner tonight. Now Kuchno missing outside, ball 2-0. John hasn't walked the batter yet as a Barnstormer, but he trails here 2-0. The wind and the Bierfeld, that is fouled right at the plate. 2-1. John Kuchno got to AAA with the Pittsburgh Pirates a year ago. Was in AA this year, and they parted company. It's his 10th appearance, 9th out of the bullpen for Lancaster. It's a 2-1. Up and in to Bierfeld, 3 balls and a strike. Jamar Walton and John Griffin scheduled to follow. This can be the most dangerous part of the lineup for New Britain. Smashed foul to the rolled up Tart. May it stay there. 3-2.
Well, if he wouldn't have gone 3 innings Sunday, this could have been an ideal situation for him to go 2, maybe 3 here tonight. Save that bullpen.
Here's the payoff pitch. Bierfeld with a solid base hit to left, leading off here in the 6th inning. Connor Bierfeld is 2 for 3 tonight. Jamar Walton will come to the plate. He had 2 comebackers against Gardner. Kuchno giving up the leadoff base hit in the 6th inning. Lancaster scored 3 runs before Nick Greenwood recorded the first out of the night. And the Barnstormers, despite having a lot of base runners since then, are still stuck at 3.
That seems like so long ago.
To Walton, swing and a miss. Kuchno gets ahead, 0-1. Kuchno coming in had given up 12 hits in 14 and a third innings. He had walked none, and he had struck out 15. 0-1, Walton with a ground ball slowly hit. The only play will be to first. Halton takes it there. On the second goes Bierfeld, and Jonathan Griffin coming in. 8 out of his last 13 against Lancaster pitching is Griffin. He hit the insurance home run in the 8th inning last night. Well, that's the tying run at second base with 1 out.
Yeah, so for Walton, I mean, that's as good as a sacrifice bunt. Put a guy in scoring position.
Kuchno to Griffin. Gets him to swing and miss at a breaking ball. It is 0-1. John Kuchno, in his first outing of the year, struck out 5 Long Island Ducks in 2 innings. But that's not generally his game. Generally, what we've seen tonight is. Here's the 0-1. Griffin swings and misses. Make it 0-2.
And the breaking ball really seems to be working.
It's got good bite. But what a nice 5-inning performance from Joe Gardner. 0-2. He got him 3 in a row. Big strikeout for Kuchno. 2 outs. Michael Krause will step in. He's walked and fanned so far. And Krause may see more of the same.
You know what? That breaking ball really seems to be working for him tonight. So he gets somebody on the hook. Look for that to be his out pitch.
Two outs. Bierfeld at second. And to Krause. It is rolled past the mound. Coronado's got to hurry the throw, but he gets it there. 6-3. And a nice job by Kuchnoev with the leadoff base hit. 1 man left. Bottom of the 6th coming around. Lancaster still leading by 1. Silo not leading off the bottom of the 6th inning, but probably wishes she were. Our non-gender specific bovine-like creature. Birthday coming up soon, I understand. Here's Steve Clevenger. He's hit the ball right back to the mound twice. Takes a good-looking slider from Greenwood for a strike. It is 0-1. Clevenger back behind the plate tonight, and that certainly can take its toll on your knees and your mind. Looper out the center. Krause will come in and make the play. He was playing shallow. 1 out, bringing on Garrett Weber, who has hit into a double play, albeit a strange one, not technically a GDP, and then he is double to left. Clevenger thought he had a base hit there, but look how shallow Michael Krause played him. And Steve may see some of that until he unloads his first extra base hit. Ball is outside to Garrett, 1-0. Greenwood's pitch count into the middle 80s. One and one to Weber. There is a left-hander also throwing in the bullpen.
Guess who?
It's Brandon Fry, right? It's got to be. I mean, heaven forbid a Barnstormer New Britain game goes by without a Brandon Fry appearance.
He must have a rubber arm.
To Weber, 2-1, smash to third, backhanded pick made by Rosa, and a pure throw across the diamond. 2 up, 2 down, bringing on Coronado.
Yeah, that's more of the Jovan Rosa we're used to seeing.
Coronado with a base hit and a ground ball to second that was giving himself up to move a runner to third. Ultimately not paying dividends for the Barnstormers. Back in the 4th inning. Boy, Greenwood has bounce back from a rough start. Coronado, that is lined out to left field, and coming on is Bierfeld to make the catch. So some fairly loud outs in the 6th, but it goes by in a hurry. We'll head to the 7th, 3-2 Barnstormers. Lights are taking hold here in the north side of downtown Lancaster. The Barnstormers with a 3-2 lead over the New Britain Bees going into the 7th inning. And another pitching change for the Barnstormers. It is Kevin Munson taking over. See the numbers on the air for Munson. When this guy is on, he can run the table in a hurry. He is a big strikeout pitcher. Last year, in his 3 weeks for the Barnstormers, he struck out something like 18 in 11 2/3 innings. Whew. There's the moon that's going to get in the way of the sun at some point in the near future here. Anyway, Munson on strikeouts this year, he has fanned 50 in 37 1/3 innings. And that included a 1-2-3, a 3 strikeout, 12-pitch inning on Sunday. Michael Baca leading off. He is 0 for 2. Munson inherits a 1-run lead. The pitch here is upstairs. Ball 1 and no strikes. John Kuchno got the Barnstormers through the 6th inning. New Britain's had the leadoff man on in 4 innings in this game, only scoring in the 3rd. That's above everything, 2-0. The Barnstormers have had the leadoff man on in 3 different innings and have only scored in 1 of those. 2 balls, no strikes to Baca. Munson kicks, fires, he's high again, ball 3. And there are times where Munson will come into a game and not be able to find the strike zone right away. We have seen that at times this year, and hopefully can settle down here after going 3-0 on Baca. And there is a strike at the very top of the zone. 3-1. Munson's walked the leadoff batter he has faced in 6 of his appearances. 3 balls, 1 strike to Baca. Munson comes back and he walks him. Ball 4 is high. All 4 balls were high on that at bat, so the tying run is on. James Skelton will come in. Skelton is 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in.
Yeah, that's kind of a cardinal sin for a relief pitcher. Walking that first batter you face.
The Lancaster bullpen has generally been so good here for the past month to 6 weeks. Now to Skelton, that's up, ball 1. Oh, Scott Patterson is at the corner of the dugout. When you see this, you figure it's a mechanical issue. Munson pitched here on Monday. He got the final 3 outs of the game, one of those on bases, but he struck out the last 2 batters. To Skelton 1-0. He goes to his breaking ball, gets that across. It's 1-1.
Well, the breaking ball worked for Kuchno. Let's see if it'll work for Munson.
Skelton batting, then Kajimoto and Rosa. Baca on base. He has stolen 2. He's not going here. The pitch to Skelton again. The breaking ball. It's strike 2. That slider Munson has is really good. Does he go back to the fastball? Because you have the opportunity to get the left-handed batter to swing at the high, hard one here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, breaking ball, and that is slammed to deep right field. New Britain takes the lead on the 2-run home run by James Skelton. Oh my, Skelton's having a big game, and now the Barnstormers will have to come back against the New Britain Bees here tonight.
Well, he jumped on that one. And this is the James Skelton that we're used to seeing.
Second baseman, Yusuke Kajimoto.
4-3, New Britain leads, and the Bees get to start the 7th inning all over again. Boy, that was in a pretty good spot for Skelton to hit that baseball. His 10th home run of the year. That was definitely not the pitch the Barnstormers were looking for in that situation. Kajimoto with a swing and a miss. It is 0-1.
And once again, the base on balls coming back to haunt Lancaster pitching.
The Barnstormers have been out homered this year. They really haven't been bad at giving up the walks overall, but they've hurt tonight. Well, it's a warm night.
Yeah.
Not all that bad. 0-2. Munson to Kajimoto. That's bounced toward the middle. Coronado can't quite get there. And the 3rd straight man reaches base for the New Britain Bees here in the 7th inning with Jovan Rosa stepping in. Rosa 2 for 3 with a run batted in.
The third baseman, Jovan Rosa.
Well, the Barnstormers have won every series at home this year, won or tied. They've won 2 games or more in every home series but 1. And they got off to such a tremendous start tonight. And they just haven't been able to add any runs despite the early chances. And Scott Patterson will visit Kevin Munson here. And this game has taken a serious turn for the worse in the top of the 7th inning.
And it all goes back to that first inning. The way things started, we're thinking, oh, okay, we got 3 runs. We got a potential for, like you mentioned, 4, 5, 6.
You were hoping a quick knockout of Greenwood?
Yes.
Boy, did he pull it back. He pulled it back with his glove.
Yeah.
Stopping the ball hit by Clevenger. If that gets over Greenwood and up the middle, there's no telling how far that first inning goes.
Yeah.
Now it's 4-3 in favor of New Britain, and a bigger threat going here. Strike 1, back to the inside corner on Rosa. No balls, 1 strike. They reach Kevin Munson for the 2-run homer. It's the 6th home run Munson's allowed. Throw to first base. Diving in is Kajimoto. Now, this changes the entire plan for the night. It was going to be Munson 7, Schumann 8, Carter 9, and try to hold the lead. Now, you've got to deviate from that until you might be able to retake the lead. That ball is pounded deep toward the gap, left center field. Amaral will not get to it. That ball is bouncing all the way through to the wall. Kajimoto is going to race around. He's going to score 5-3 in favor of New Britain. Jovan Rosa with his 3rd straight hit tonight, his 28th against the Barnstormers this year on the RBI double. And it's 5-3, still nobody out with Craig Maddox stepping in.
Well, when you hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, that's going to score anybody from first base.
And
Boy.
Ross Peoples is on his way out. Kevin Munson cannot get an out here tonight. That'll be all for Munson. Better days ahead for him. This was a rough one. So Barnstormers will go back to the bullpen, making the change, and we're going to take a break and pause for these messages. A surge by the New Britain Bees in the top half of the seventh inning really has turned this game around, and now Kaohi Downing will try to quell the rally, douse the Flames. 3 runs are home, and Jovan Rosa stands at second with nobody out as Downing takes over. Kaohi gave up a run in the 8th inning here on Monday night. James Skelton tonight is 3 for 4 with a double and a homer. Jovan Rosa is 3 for 4 with a double. And between them, they have driven in all 5 runs. Here is Craig Maddox, who is 0 for 3. Long Island has York down 3-1, bottom half of the 5th inning. Somerset and Sugar Land are in a rain delay. Southern Maryland won earlier, 5-4 over Bridgeport. Plenty of damage done here in the 7th inning. Now here is Craig Maddox, 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Downing into the motion, the pitch. Maddox fouls that one back, slapping it off the railing of the upper level.
And Downing with his work cut out for me, because let's face it, there's still nobody out and a runner in scoring position. New Britain with an opportunity to blow this thing open.
Maddox at least trying to hit the ball on the right side here. 0-1 to him from Downing. Kaohi ready to go. That's a fastball up and away. Ball 1, strike 1. First base open with the left-handed batter at the plate. 1-1 offering, fouled back to the screen. Downing again, a guy who can chalk up a lot of strikeouts in a hurry. For the season, 42 and 41 2/3 innings. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Big first out for Kaohi Downing. And his strikeout number 7 for Lancaster pitching tonight. Connor Bierfeld will come to the plate. Bierfeld is 2 for 3. Well, the Barnstormers have 3 innings to bounce back from this one.
And again, a time and place for a strikeout, and that was one of those times.
Bierfeld has put the ball in play every AB tonight. Swing and a miss here against Downing. It is 0-1. Well outside, and a 1-1 count. Bell, Milledge, and Amaral scheduled in the lower half of the 7th inning. The Barnstormers offensively need reinforcements. On the pitching staff right now, I think they're going to be fine. This game tonight, absolutely an anomaly for Munson. Definitely a rough one on that front. Swing and a foul tip, make it 1-2.
Well, you hear about it in sports all the time. You have to have a very short memory when things go wrong.
Ross will work to get Munson into the game tomorrow. He's done that all year. And about 95% of the time, it's worked greatly. 1-2. And to Bierfeld, it's bounced, gets past Clevenger on the wild pitch. Rosa goes to third with potential run number 6. 2-2 on Bierfeld. Again, you've got to go for the strikeout here. Yeah. With that runner at third, you just, I don't think, can afford to give up anything else. Infield brought in. Downing back to work, 2-2 on Bierfeld. And that's strike 3. Downing's put away 2 in a row. Now he has to get Jamar Walton or John Griffin, one or the other. You could decide to walk Walton here if you want.
Good mix of pitches by Downing, and his ball's got some movement on it. We've seen Walton tonight. He's struggled with the off-speed stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach Walton here with 2 outs now.
Rosa at third with 2 away. Downing has come on to fan 2, trying to keep the Barnstormers within a pair of runs. Right field wall easily reachable tonight. Ground ball down the line at first and foul.
You just don't want to make a mistake to this guy because he will make you pay.
As a runner, Rosa belongs to Kevin Munson. And it's sort of the one flaw in this 5-1-1-1-1 pattern or 6-1-1-1 pattern that Sparky Anderson made popular back in the 70s, and it's taken over baseball, is you have one guy with an off night as it destroys the entire setup. Swing and a miss. It's now 0-2.
Well, the only way to change that is have the offense come to life in the 7th inning, which, and you've mentioned this earlier, is their inning.
0-2. Downing goes back to work on Jamar Walton. Rosa up the line from third. He got him. 3 straight strikeouts for Kaohi Downing to freeze the runner in scoring position. But before that, it's 3 runs, 3 hits. The man left at third. Time for the stretch. New Britain with a 5-3 lead. Well, it was a fast start for the Barnstormers tonight, but New Britain has roared back. They got RBI singles from Skelton and Rosa, and then James Skelton with a 2-run homer, giving the New Britain Bees the lead. They were able to tack on yet another run. On this, Jovan Rosa double roped into the gap out in left center field. So it is 5-3 in favor of New Britain, and the Barnstormers will see a right-hander here in the 7th inning. Nate Rowe has come on for New Britain. Nick Greenwood gives up 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned in 6 innings of work tonight. He walks 1 and only strikes out 1, was charged with a wild pitch, and it's time for the Barnstormers to plug in their offense. Nate Rowe is from Plainfield, New Jersey, 6'2" and 205 pounds. We saw him for an inning and a third last night. He retired all 4 batters that he faced. The Barnstormers have 9 outs with which to work, and a bullpen with which they have become incredibly familiar.
Well, it's not Nate Rowe, it's Brandon Fry, it's Brandon League, it's Gil Blair. It's like the lineup stays the same, the bullpen stays the same.
Bullpen got the job done for Stan Clyburn and crew last night. 4 1/3 scoreless innings. Stan looking for a similar effort tonight. Meanwhile, York has taken the lead over Long Island with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That York ball club has been able to build and build without having the attrition that the Barnstormers have had to go through. And they are turning into quite something here in this second half. Here's Josh Bell. Pitch to him, swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Bell aboard on an infield single and a walk so far. 3-run home run by Alonzo Harris, who's making a bid to be MVP of the league. To Bell, dribbler foul. No balls and 2 strikes against Rowe.
Offensively, Lancaster is just kind of short-circuited here in the last couple of innings.
Breaking ball missing. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Somebody's got to come up with the big blow. And this is where you miss having the left-handed slugger in this ballpark. Bell, of course, can be it if he is fully healthy and in mid-season form. But the Barnstormers right now actually probably are a better team on the road, and they have been here in the second half. Bell has worked the count to 3-2 against Rowe. Full count pitch due. Josh does have a pretty good eye. He has the only walk Greenwood gave up. And the payoff high and wide, ball 4. Keep in mind, that's how the top of the inning got started. The leadoff walk. Lastings Millage will step in with Bell on.
Well, let's see if he can return the favor.
Barnstormers displayed some power early. Doubles by Halton and Weber. Runner on base with nobody out. Millage will step in. He is fly to center and wrapped into a 6-4-3 double play. Rowe goes to work. The pitch to Millage, a strike on the outer part of the plate. It is 0-1. The Barnstormers need Millage to break out of the slump he is currently in. The set, the pitch, that tails back inside for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The on-deck batter is Bo Amaral. They have had Brandon Fry warming up in the bullpen. He is not at the moment, but he could be ready to go.
Now, if Milledge can take this one to the right side, he's going to get a base hit because the infield's shifted towards the middle.
1-1, takes it to the right side and reasonably deep. Back on this one, Walton to the fence and makes the catch. A long throw back into first. And Bell settles back in. Lastings Milledge flies out to the fence in right center field, coming up just short of his first home run here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And wouldn't have that have been dramatic.
And then that throw to first, that was too close for comfort, with Bell having to scurry back.
Amaral to the plate. He is 2 for 3. You look at Walton. He knew right where he was. Step or two short of the fence, and he really cut loose a nice throw.
He did.
Amaral batting with Trayvon Robinson on deck. To Bo upstairs, 1-0. And that's a near miss for the Barnstormers. You get a bit more of a breeze out there tonight. Milledge might have tied the game. Breaking ball to the inside corner. Amaral bats 1-1. Trayvon Robinson has the last Barnstormers base hit in this game with a single in the 5th inning. Barnstormers were very much on the attack early. Brandon League is warming up in the bullpen for New Britain. To Amaral, here comes the 1-1 breaking ball, fouled. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You're in a situation here, if you're the Barnstormers, where pinch running becomes difficult. You've got Clark and De La Rosa on the bench. You know, Tyler Clark as a pinch runner is an option at some point. Here's a 1-2 in the dirt. Amaral able to stay away from it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, he's shown a good eye at the plate here. Breaking balls, curve balls. He handles the bat extremely well. He's just looking for his pitch now to take it to any part of the field here tonight.
2-2, Rowe ready to go. Swing and a miss. Lancaster just can't get any offense generated at the moment. Trayvon Robinson, the batter. He is 1 for 3, and Stan Clyburn is on his way to the mound. He may want League matching up against Robinson instead of Rowe. He's going to make a change, but it's not League who is warming up. It's Fry who is sitting on the bullpen bench and had warmed up earlier. And Stan has fooled us with that a couple of times in this series, where nobody has been actively warming up, and he's gone out and made the change. Fry comes in to spin Robinson around to bat right-handed. You know a game can't go by without a Brandon Fry appearance when these two clubs get together.
Of course not.
It's the 14th of the year, and we're going to take a break and pause for these messages. Well, the most often that a Barnstormers ball club has seen one pitcher in a season was against the Long Island Ducks back in 2009. Joe Valentine made 14 appearances. Brandon Fry misspoke. This is number 13. I lost track. I thought 12 was Monday night and 13 was last night, but last night was 12. He's on to face Trayvon Robinson, simply to have Trayvon bat right-handed. Keep him away from that short porch in right field. 2 outs with a man on board. And Robinson with a foul at the plate. No balls and a strike. On deck is Cole Garner. Slender Brandon Fry, most often used pitcher in the Atlantic League this year. Working to Robinson. Here's the 0-1. Trayvon taps another foul. Quickly down 0-2.
Well, 3 more times they'll face New Britain, so 3 more times to face Brandon Fry.
Lancaster with 3 runs tonight before the first out. And nothing since. There were some chances through the first 4 innings. Absolutely nothing. Here the last 3, even with a leadoff walk this inning. Millage came close, a fly ball to the warning track.
Yeah, then in the 4th, Weber leadoff double. Advanced to 3rd. Left stranded.
Runner goes, the pitch is high, the Skelton throw bounces off of Bell. Well, he's got his 3rd stolen base.
I would not have thought that was going to happen. Sore knee? What sore knee?
Bouncing the throw.
Ooh, look like he might have ricocheted off the side of his helmet.
Yeah.
Right at the ear flap.
That's why you still wear it to run. Robinson awaits the 1-2. Fastball is wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As a ball club now, the Barnstormers have stolen a league-leading 143 bases.
But that number obviously taking a significant hit with Rico Noel gone now.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to maintain that pace. But the club should be able to break the franchise record. You would like to think. Just missing. 3-2 to Robinson with Garner waiting on deck. And the right-hander lead getting ready to go in the bullpen. The franchise record is 172. Set in the first year, 2005, when we had Quincy Foster and Travis Hake. Payoff pitch is coming to Robinson. Just hangs in there. 3 balls, 2 strikes and running. You're the Barnstormers. You want this run. Make the Bees pay for the leadoff walk to Bell.
Yeah, because New Britain capitalized on their base on balls.
Fry out of that slide step, looking back to Bell. Here's the 3-2, swung on and missed. Oh, the Barnstormers unable to produce again here in the 7th inning. 6 innings in a row, and really 7 innings in a row have gone by without a run. And we'll go to the 8th inning. New Britain's up 5-3. Celtics here at the ballpark tonight. I believe that youngster on the left earlier. Now R.J. Hively comes on for the 8th inning. Hively faced 2 batters last night, got a strikeout, but then gave up the lead base hit to Baca after a lengthy battle. It's Griffin, Krause, and Baca stepping in the top of the 8th. Barnstormers still have 2 shots left at the New Britain bullpen.
But how about the job at Downing, coming in with nobody out and a runner at second base, proceeds to strike out the side.
Whiffed the side last inning. That was tremendous. Here's John Griffin, 1 for 3 in this game. He has struck out twice. 9 strikeouts for Lancaster pitching tonight. Hively to Griffin. Fastball cut on and miss. Strike 1. And again, the concern isn't necessarily the pitching staff tonight. Yeah, they've given up 5 runs, and they haven't given up that many runs of late. They pitched extremely well, but I think the pitching, as far as the roster is concerned, is good to go. With the addition of Gardner, we saw how good he is tonight. I am a little bit concerned about the offense in this ballpark.
Yeah. Because
you don't have left-handed power right now. And that may be a first in the history of this franchise. It's just because it all got signed away, and that's a good thing. Ball 1 to Griffin, 1 and 2, but you really like having that left-handed threat here, that consistent left-handed threat, whether it's Galen or Hobson or
Gendel,
Jason Perry or Reggie Taylor or Jeremy Todd. You can just go on and on and on over the years. That ball is tagged toward left center field and down for a base hit. Nice job again cutting it off by Amaral. He continues to impress out in center field. Leadoff man is aboard, and Michael Krause stepping in. Krause over 2 with a walk, and he has scored a run. But they keep getting the leadoff man on base. Hively will try and get the double play ball out of Krause here. Not that that's an easy task.
Jeez. 6 out of the 8 innings.
He bunts through the first one. Krause down a strike at his 0-1. The shortstop Mike Baca waiting on deck. Lancaster with Garner, Halton, and Clevenger up in the 8th inning. And League continuing to warm up in the bullpen. I'd like to think in that 3, 4, 5, 6 area, you've got a couple of runs. Bouncing ball foul up the third base side. Hively has Krause down 2 strikes. Still 4-3 in favor of York. They're in the top of the 6th inning, finally. Bottom of the 5th one on forever. York's offense has exploded. It's in full gear right now. Roller back toward the hill. Hively's got to go to first. That is out number 1. Tons of assists from the mound tonight.
How about that?
There were 4 for Joe Gardner. Hively adds a 5th from the Barnstormers side. And 4 for the starter Greenwood for New Britain. Griffin moves ahead to second base with 1 out again, just as good as a bunt. Baca will step in, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He was on in front of the Skelton home run. 5-pitch walk to start off the 7th inning. Fastball in there. Strike 1 on Baca. Skelton's on deck, but he's backed up by Kajimoto. What do you do? The top of the order tonight for New Britain is 7 for 11 in the game. They've driven in all 5 of the runs. One here in the Hively-Baca rematch.
Without a doubt, the turning point of the ball game last night.
Second strike. Tabaka make it 1-2. Turning point of this game, the back-to-back balls hit to Greenwood in the bottom of the first inning.
Yep.
Resulting in 3 outs, keeping the Barnstormers from scoring a 4th run there.
And it's not often you see a turning point happen that early in a ball game.
There's a soft little one hopper. Weber couldn't get to it on the fly. He's still able to throw out Baca. Griffin couldn't move because he wasn't sure if Weber would get there or not. 2 outs and Skelton will step in. So how often do you see a 4-3 ground out not advance a runner from second base?
Yeah, he sawed him off at the handle.
But that's the one way it'll happen.
Yep. And you talk about York, all remaining games with York are going to be at York,
including
6
the final
more.
3 of the season. The ball is low to Skelton, 1-0. And again, we wouldn't have to worry about this if we had played that deciding game for the first half on Saturday. We would know,
right,
one way or the other. Instead, the agony to some extent is prolonged. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's the not knowing.
They stretched it out 17 more days.
They're going to be how far into the second half?
More than half, 37 games in, if everything stays on schedule. 2-1. Yeah, you play that game Saturday, you lose it, you move on, and at least you know what you have to do.
I agree.
Skelton gets ball 3. He's a triple from the cycle, which nobody has ever done against the Barnstormers.
And the guy's got the potential to do it.
Doesn't have a triple this year, and this is not a good triples ballpark. 3 balls, 1 strike. The Hively offering fouled away. 3-2.
Well, the thing is, if by chance it does rain on the 14th, you just wonder, what do they do then?
They'll either have to play it here, which Southern Maryland will fight tooth and nail, or play it September 11th. And then you're almost all the way through the second half. Fouled away.
Yeah,
we stay at 3-2.
I thought you would just try and play it the first available open day you can.
And that was the original plan, and it just all of a sudden changed Friday night.
Yeah.
Skelton batting 3-2. Hively misses the inside corner, ball 4. It's not the worst thing here.
Second baseman, Yusuke.
No.
Bring on Kaji. Switch hitter from Kobe, Japan. Takes that on the corner, although he was backing out. 0-1. 4th year in the Atlantic League for Kajimoto. Skelton's in his 5th. They've got some veterans on this club. Griffin, the runner at seconds, in his 3rd season. That's pulled down the right field line. Foul into section 1. 0-2 to Kajimoto.
Hively's got to keep this a 2-run deficit. Offense has struggled here.
Ively to the plate. That's looped out to short left. Coronado gets there. Good start by Nate. He's able to reel that in and the inning. 2 more left on by the New Britain Bees, and we'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning tonight. 5-3, Bees lead. A young Barnstormers fan with a prized possession. Barnstormers victimized by the bats of the New Britain Bees for 2 runs in the 3rd, 3 in the 7th, and now Brandon Leak takes over. Right-hander, originally from California, but grew up in Hawaii. We talked about his lengthy success in Major League Baseball. We discussed that last night. One-time closer for Seattle. He's been in the big leagues with the Dodgers. Nearly 500 Major League appearances. Cole Garner facing him. First pitch here, and Garner drives that toward the gap in left center field. That is going to get down for a base hit. Cole is sprinting for second. Here's the throw, and he's in there. 2 bases for Garner to start off the Barnstormers' 8th against Brandon League. They've still got work to do, but that's a nice beginning. Sean Holton comes to the plate as the possible tying run.
And they were even playing deep in the outfield, too.
Garner with his 5th double of the year. Well, you would have hated to have seen him thrown out there.
Oh, yeah.
Now Holton will dig in. He has a single, a double, and is lying to Krause in center. 2 out of 3 tonight with 2 runs batted in. League will work out of the set. And to Holton, down and away. Good stop by Skelton.
This guy's like a machine back there.
I mean, it would be nice just to get 1 run here. It's better than 0. And go into the 9th trailing by 1. But you've got the runner in scoring position. You've got the heart of the order up. You want 2 runs out of this. Defense straight away against Holton. 1-0 from League, and that is way inside. 2-0. Steve Clevenger, the catcher, waiting on deck.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you let loose with a walk-off or a big hit late in the ball game.
Garner leads from second. Here's the 2-0 offering. Gets the plate in a good spot. Holton wise to let that one go. 2 balls, 1 strike. look at Garner leading off from second base. Halton awaits the 2-1. League to the plate, swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of it. Now 2-2.
And the thing is, too, defensively, the shortstop, Baca and Kajimoto, having to play in their normal spots. So Garner at second base can get a pretty good lead off of second base. And if there's a base hit, pretty good chance he's going to score. Now, of course, here's Baca trying to bluff it.
Here's the 2-2. Halton stays alive. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Clevenger on deck. Weber after that. Lancaster, I think, needs to score the 2 runs in this 8th inning with this start. Halton digging back in, 2-2. League ready to go. And that is cut on and missed. Barnstormers striking out for the 4th time, but the last 3 outs have been on strikes. Clevenger will step in. Steve 0 for 3 in the game.
Well, we haven't seen any big pop out of his bat. Now would be a perfect time.
To Clevenger, fastball outside, 1-0. Garner still at second base, but now with 1 out.
But at the same time, I will just take him spraying a base hit anywhere in the outfield.
League will bring it home. That's ball 2. We haven't seen Garrett Weber's opposite field power in a while. It could come in handy here in the 8th inning.
Hint, hint.
Clevenger bats 2-0. Garner with the lead from second. Ball 3 as well outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
This guy's been around, though. He's not going to get rattled by a 3-0 count.
Clevenger awaits. Wonder if he's taking here or not. Looked like he might have been. He gets ball 4. Garrett Weber will step in. He is the possible lead run in the ballgame. Garner at second, Clevenger at first. Weber tonight is 1 for 3. He's hit into a bizarre double play. Doubled and grounded out.
Second baseman Garrett Weber.
But again, you don't have the speed out there that the Barnstormers once possessed. Garner can run. He's pretty quick for a big man. Clevenger is not. There's one that gets away from Skelton, and it'll give the Barnstormers second and third. Boy, that could be enormous right now. A wild pitch puts the tying runs in scoring position. Garrett Weber ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes with Nate Coronado on deck. You've got 2 chances for a tying base hit.
Well, Skelton did everything he was supposed to do. It just skipped away from him. But yeah, that's the wild pitch.
I'd be tempted to pinch run Tyler Clark at second, but it is just the 8th inning. Upstairs, 2-0 to Weber.
Yeah, if it's the 9th inning, no doubt. Brandon League kind of uncharacteristically wild here.
To Weber, here's the 2-0. Strike to the inside corner. Breaks the streak of 6 consecutive pitches out of the zone. Judging by the countenance of Garrett Weber, he didn't think so. 2 balls and a strike. A base hit could tie the game. League is ready to go. And to Weber, strike 2, gets right straight through. Brandon League is back in the fight here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Weber. Runners lead off second and third. League to the plate. Ball 3 is inside. You want the base hit and not the walk. If you're the Barnstormers, you want to tie it up here. Coronado waiting on deck. Payoff pitch on the way to Weber. 3-2, loop to shallow right center, back goes Kaji, it's in. A base hit. It will score just 1, 5-4. Garrett Weber with a bloop hit to right center. Gets the Barnstormers a notch closer. Clevenger to third. Weber represents the go-ahead run at first base. And Nate Coronado will come to the plate with a chance to tie it up.
Yeah, they kind of floated out there, and everybody had to kind of hold on because they didn't know if Kajimoto was going to get to it. And Walton quickly on it to keep Clevenger at third base, but Lancaster with a rally here in the 8th.
Coronado tonight is 1 for 3, trying to tie things up here in the 8th inning. Coronado batting. Josh Bell waits on deck. Coronado 2 for 7, getting the runners home from third base with fewer than 2 outs. He needs to come through here. League to the set. Coronado gets a ball low, 1-0. 5-4, bottom of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers offense has come back to life. Clevenger and Weber out to their leads. League goes to work, 1-0. Coronado takes ball 2. Bell is on deck. He'll get the bat left-handed.
He keeps baiting those right-handed batters with that pitch down and away. To the Lancaster's credit, they just are not going for it.
Coronado with the edge in the count, 2-0. League ready to go. The pitch, ground ball toward the hole, a short base hit. Nate the Great ties the game. An RBI single in the left for Coronado. It's 5-5. Clevenger home from third. Weber up the second with the lead run, and here's Josh Bell. How about Coronado?
He's coming through.
His 8th multiple hit game. Driving in his 11th run. Josh Bell will look to give the Barnstormers a lead.
He's still just 1 out.
Lancaster has tied it up. Bell tonight has reached on a base hit and he has walked twice. Fastball outside from League. 1-0. Lasting's Millage waits on deck.
Love to see Bell find a gap here.
Trying to put the Barnstormers on top here in the 8th inning. League to the set to Bell. It is outside, ball 2 and no strikes.
Once again, that's the thing with Brandon League. When he gets in front of the batters, he's a much more effective pitcher, but he has fallen behind pretty much everybody here in this 8th inning.
Here comes the 2-0. Bell goes for it all. A swing and a miss.
Goes for it all and then some.
2-1 to the Barnstormers player coach. Brandon League trying to coax a ground ball out of him to get out of the jam. Here comes the 2-1. Fouled back. Now a 2-2 count. Bell still only has 3 runs batted in on the year. Trying to sink his teeth into something here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now just looking for a base hit. League sets. Here's the 2-2. Bell swings and he misses. That is a huge second out. Both outs have come on strikes. And now Lasting's Millage will look to put the Barnstormers in the lead. Millage 0 for 3 tonight. He flied out to the warning track in the 7th inning toward that short porch in right center.
Well, just a little late. Well, and you mentioned how Millage has struggled. A base hit here could do wonders for him. Not to mention put the Barnstormers back on top again.
The York lead is 4 to 3 into the 7th inning on the other side of the river. Lastings Millage bats with 2 outs and 2 on against Brandon League. The set, and it is outside and low, ball 1. We need to rehash the importance of the wild pitch.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that Clevenger is able to score from second on that Coronado base hit.
No. No.
Ball 1, no strikes, the count to Millage. First and second with 2 outs. League to the set. Lastings pops this up, foul territory. Skelton over for a look, and that's it. A ball and a strike. Rosa, Maddox, and Bierfeld are scheduled in the New Britain 9th inning. And I would imagine that Ross Peoples has Anthony Carter ready to go. He's now standing around the mound down there. He can't get a save at all if the Barnstormers don't take the lead here anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Millage hits a slow roller up the first base line that trickles foul. League has him at 1 and 2.
Really having to dig in. 2 strikes.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Trying to get his ball club the lead. Big moment for Millage out of the number 9 hole. League to the belt. Here's the 1-2. Millage, sharp ground ball that deflects off of Rosa and Baca, and everybody is safe for Bo Amaral.
But he sent an absolute rocket down to third base at Rosa.
I'm interested to see how this one is scored. But in any event, the Barnstormers have the bases loaded. Didn't make the play. Baca almost recovered it. Sean Gilblair out to talk to Brandon League. There's no place to put Bo Amaral. The center fielder 2 for 4 in the ball game tonight. And Lancaster now has the bases loaded. Rosa is charged with an error on the play.
And if Baca's not there to catch that deflection, Weber scores easily.
Amaral will have the chance. Weber's at third, Coronado is at second, Millage the runner at first. A couple of knocks for Amaral tonight. Bo has the grand slam earlier on this homestand. You don't need that right now. You need a base hit.
We'll take that patented Amaral.
Opposite field single.
Yep.
Inside and low, it gets by Skelton. Here comes Weber. He scores! 6-5 in favor of the Barnstormers on the wild pitch.
Yeah, this is not the Brandon League we're used to seeing. His pitches are missing the strike zone, and he has had Skelton working overtime here behind the plate tonight.
Second wild pitch of the inning. This one gives the Barnstormers the lead A close play back at the plate, but Weber clearly was in. Amaral up there at a ball and no strikes with the Barnstormers leading, and now it does become a save chance for Anthony Carter. Amaral right now trying to give the Barnstormers insurance. League to the plate, and that ball is driven out to center field. Back on it goes Krause. He'll have room to reach up and make the catch. Hit very well, but to the fat part of this ballpark by Bo Amaral. Lancaster strikes for 3, though. They do it on 3 hits. An error played a key role. There were also 2 wild pitches, 2 left, and now it'll be Carter trying to get through Rosa, Maddox, and Bierfeld to hold on to a 6-5 Lancaster lead. Anthony Carter needs 3 outs here in the top of the 9th inning, and they're going to be tough outs with Jovan Rosa, Craig Maddox, and Connor Bierfeld, the scheduled hitters. Carter, the closer for the Barnstormers, he has recorded 21 saves for the season.
This guy is on a roll right now. But like you said, he's going to have to earn this one tonight. Rosa, Maddox, and Bierfeld, 3 guys that would pop in their bat.
Jovan Rosa has not had the best of nights in the field. As a matter of fact, he is responsible for 2 unearned runs in this game. But at the plate, he is 3 for 4 with 2 ribbies. Carter delivers. It's popped up. Foul territory. Hustling over is Halton. Sean may have room, and he's got it for out number 1.
That's big.
Rosa retired. That's out number 1. Craig Maddox to the plate, 0 for 4 in the ballgame tonight. Halton read that off the bat and had the minimal amount of room. I'm sure there was some communication out of the dugout there.
Yeah, it's nice when it's on in front of your dugout. You're going to get a lot more help than if you're on the opposing dugout.
Here is Maddox, who is 0 for 4. The pitch to him, gunned in for a strike called. It is 0-1. The 2 Georgians matching up here. Anthony Carter against Craig Maddox. No balls, 1 strike. Anthony back, he deals, and this is, it's 1-1. 2 very precious outs left to get. One fouled away. Carter gains the edge at a ball and 2 strikes.
Maddox might have tished one out of the zone.
And you still have Connor Bierfeld on deck, and he is scary.
Lancaster is able to hold on, and Carter can nail this down. I mean, this team looked like it flatlined after the second inning.
Here's a 1-2. He got him, a swing and a miss. Maddox is gone, and now it is Carter against Bierfeld to nail it down tonight. The Barnstormers able to reach Brandon League for the 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th inning. Taking advantage of an error, 2 wild pitches, 3 big base hits. Nate Coronado with the tying hit. Two outs, Bierfeld stands in. Carter to the plate, high fly ball out to left field, not terribly deep. Coronado sprinting back, Milledge coming in. Lastings Milledge makes the catch as the ball held up for him. It is a 6-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Carter, and the Barnstormers are able to rally and pull one out of the hat here tonight. What a great comeback for the Lancaster Barnstormers. They'll stay in front by at least 2 here in the Freedom Division. So we're going to take a fairly lengthy break now on BRC 11 because USA Field Hockey is coming up over the next week. So we will not be back with you until Tuesday, the 15th of August, for 3 games against the Bridgeport Bluefish. But of course, James Murray and I will have all the action on Go Barnstormers Baseball, the Barnstormers YouTube channel, as the Sugarland Skeeters come in for the next 4. James Skelton had a big night on offense for the New Britain Bees. It turned out not to be enough. Garrett Weber scores the winning run on a wild pitch. Now for Eric May, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.